In this video, I'm going to be building the best value team right now in NBA 2K23. My team, this squad is just going to be full of cards that have extremely good value in the game, some being cheaper good value cards, some being more expensive value cards in the game. And if you guys are wondering what I do mean by a value card, it's going to be for how much MT a card goes for and how well they do play in game. So example of an amazing value card is going to be our starting point guard, which is going to be the out of position Nikola Jokic, who you can actually find for about 20,000 MT, and he is still a top 5 point guard in the game and gives you about 95% of what this here Nikola Jokic does. So for that price tag, you can't get much better value than a card like Nikola Jokic because he's super cheap on the auction house and it gives you top level play. So that's what I'll be going over. Once again, just building a squad full of the best value cards in the game, and I think this squad is amazing for its price. All of these cards I think are really good for their price tags. Yeah, like I said, Nikola Jokic, 6'11" at point guard, 7'3" wingspan. We know he's going to be a great defender, mainly due to his size and his player model. He's also got a 92 block, 88 steal, 90 perimeter, 94 interior defense. He's going to be fairly quick and athletic, but then he's also got a great jump shot with the Eric Paschall base, Oscar upper on very quick timing, and then he's got amazing dribble sigs for a 6'11" card with the Curry size up, the John Wall escape, aim behind the back, and then he's even got great dunk packages with the quick drops off one and the front clutches. So like I said earlier, I'm not really sure how you can get much better value. And then a card like Dark Matter Jokic, his out of position version at the point guard spot. So Jokic gonna be our starting point guard, and then next to Jokic is gonna be a little bit more expensive of a value card, but still gonna be amazing for his price, and that's gonna be the invincible Danny Granger, a card that goes for around 75 to 80k, somewhere in that price range. So he's really good for that price. He's 6'9" at the 2, 7'1" wingspan, amazing stats across the board. He's got perfect defensive tendencies, but the best thing about Granger is what they did with his animations, giving him a top tier jump shot, the KPJ base, Kevin Love upper on very quick timing. He's also got the normal fade, he's got the D-Rose size up, the Trey escape, aim behind the back, some of the best dribble sigs in the game, even has that Kawhi Leonard defensive stance. Maybe could use some better safe dunk packages like the quick drops off one or the front clutches. Would have been nice to see on Danny Granger, but I do think he's a top 5 shooting guard in the game, and to be top 5 at your position and only costs about 75,000 MT, that is also going to be extremely good value. And I think we got great size and offense between Danny Granger and Nikola Jokic. And then to give us even more size at the starting small forward position is going to be the Dark Matter Bull, a card that has actually dropped a ton in price. I think Bull's down to 55, 60k, 65,000 MT, somewhere in that price range. He's actually gone down a ton in price over the past couple of days, even more. Like, he just seems to continue to drop, you know, every single day. So he's 7'2" at small forward though, 7'7" wingspan, and just like Nikola Jokic, I think might be one of the best value cards in the game, just for how good he is at the small forward position with his size. He's such a good defender, 95 block, 85 steal, 86 perimeter, 92 interior defense, and it's not so much about the tendencies for Bull, even though they're really good for the contest shot and block shot. It's not about his stats and his badges for defense, it's the fact that he's got an elite level player model, and he's 7'2" at small forward, so able to guard pretty much every small forward in the game and be one of the best options on a Victor Wembanyama because he's able to keep up with Victor with his speed and his agility, his mobility, right, able to move laterally quickly, right, able to stay in front of Victor Wembanyama, but then also be tall enough, have a good enough player model to get paint stops and to be able to guard, you know, Wemby down low. So if you're looking for a Wemby stopper for a budget price, I think Bull is one of the best cards out there to be able to stop Victor Wembanyama, and he's only going to cost you, once again, about 50 to 60k, somewhere in that price range. Now for the starting power forward position, this is going to be, I think, our only expensive card in the lineup, or like really expensive card, and I wanted to have at least one expensive value card, and I do think that's going to be Endgame D-Rob. This card's only going to cost you about 225k on Xbox, but I've actually seen him going down over the past couple of days, so you might be able to get him for even like 200k or below, especially in the next week or two. He's 7'1" at power forward, 7'5" wingspan, and I think he's one of the best endgame cards in the game, and he's going to be a great power forward for a while. He's still got that good jump shot as a lefty release. I do like his jump shot a ton more with this endgame jump shot of the KPJ base, Sadiq Bey upper. So yes, he's expensive, but I think for a value card team, I wanted to have at least one card in here that's going to be expensive, but still really good for his price. You can be expensive and still be great value. Like Victor Wembanyama, his invincible card, if we're talking about the expensive value cards in the game, I mean, I know he's like a million MT, but he's worth it because of how good he is. So that's kind of similar situation to the end game D-Rob. So I do think he's going to be our starting power forward. And just looking at that first 4 cards, I mean, you got great size: 6'11" point guard, 6'9" shooting guard, 7'2" small forward, 7'1" center. And then to round out the best value starting lineup in the game, I do think is going to be the Dark Matter Yao Ming, a card that's going to be 7'6" at center, 7'9" wingspan. So just adding to the absolute giant of a team, or giant of a starting lineup we have so far, right? 7'6", 7'9" wingspan. We know Yao is going to be a great defender, so he's going to help us out on the defensive end, but then also can still space the floor, right? Be a really good stretch 5, able to knock down 3. So I really do like the starting lineup. I think it's got great balance between defense and offense. It's got the size to be able to guard pretty much any lineup in the game. So I really do like that value starting lineup, because this Yao Ming card, I think, is only about 70 or 80k, which is an amazing price tag for the Dark Matter Yao. Now, talking about the backup point guard, is one of my favorite point guards in the game, and that is going to be the invincible Penny Hardaway, who I believe is about 50 to 60k last time I checked on Xbox. 6'7" at point guard, 6'10" wingspan. His stats and badges obviously going to be perfect across the board, or almost perfect. You take a look at his jump shot, I think they gave him a great release. The D-Rose base, John Wall upper on very quick timing, at least for me personally, I think is a great jump shot for a point guard. He's got amazing dribble sigs, and he also just moves extremely well for a point guard. Like, he feels super fast at getting to the rim, right? Can accelerate, really quickly, get to the basket, and he does have the quick drops off one, so able to finish at the rim, pretty nicely, and then also does have perfect defensive tendencies. And once again, for only a price tag of 50 to 60k, I think he's going to be the second best value point guard, right behind Nikola Jokic. Now, for the backup shooting guard position, you still got to give it to the Radiant T-Mac, just for how cheap he is. I think he's like 15k right now in Xbox, maybe even a little bit cheaper. 6'8" at shooting guard, 7'2" wingspan, and we know what this Tracy McGrady card can bring to the table: a really good offensive 2 guard, and I think he's going to pair alongside Penny really nicely. Penny being more of like a defender, right, can do everything on the court at a high level, and T-Mac's going to be there to score the basketball. But I will say, we do need some more height off the bench, especially for who we're going to be running at power forward. So that's why I think Big Z is going to be the small forward here off the bench, because we need that size. And that's why I still think Big Z is one of the best value cards in the game, because you guys will see what I'm about to do here in a second. He's 7'3" at small forward, 7'6" wingspan. He's going to give us that size we desperately need, for the bench. So he's going to give us that size, be a really good defender on the inside, and able to guard most power forwards and a lot of centers in the game, because our backup power forward is going to be one of the best value cards in my team, and that is going to be the Dark Matter Anderson Varejao, a card that you can find for almost 5,000 MT on the auction house, maybe 6 or 7k. He's 6'11" at power forward, 7'3" wingspan. He's a great defender, 97 block, 95 steal, 94 perimeter, 97 interior defense. That's like the main thing he brings to the table, is going to be his defense. He's super athletic and quick, and then he's also got a top tier jump shot. The Montrezl Harrell base, Oscar upper on very quick, is an absolute knockdown of a release. And then he's also got great dribble sigs, the Kyle Lowry size up, the Curry escape, Dave behind the back. He's got the quick drops off one, he's got the front clutches, perfect defensive tendencies. Like, this card for a 5,000 MT price tag, almost a quick sell value, I think is going to be one of the best value power forwards in the game, and just one of the best value cards in general. But we needed some more size, because he's only 6'11" at power forward, and 6'7" for point guard for Penny isn't terrible, and 6'8" for shooting guard isn't terrible, but we're just not going to have crazy size like we do on the starting lineup. So that's why I wanted to get Varejao there, that's why I wanted to get Big Z at small forward to pair alongside Varejao, because in game, Big Z will be guarding Big Z will be guarding the opponent's power forward most likely, and then Varejao will be guarding the small forward, and he can be a really good lockdown defender as like our main, lockdown card. And then to round out the best value team in the game, at least a 10-man rotation, I do think is going to be the next Victor Wembanyama, a card that has gone back up in price to like 90 to 100k, but still going to be 7'5" at the center position, 8-foot wingspan. So he's still going to be a really, really good defender on the inside, even though he can also play power forward. I think he's a top level center. And then I also wanted to include some cards here in the last 3 spots. So if you don't want to go Mark Eden, or if you don't want to go Victor Wembanyama, you can also go Mark Eden, who's going to be a really good defensive center. Also wanted to throw in Taco Fall in case you want to go taller and you want to go, maybe Taco and Victor, or you want to go Taco and Mark Eden, just to give you a little bit more size. You can also have the flexibility to do that. And then if you also want more size at point guard, I'll also be throwing Ben Simmons in there, who's like under 10k and still a really good defensive point guard. But yeah, guys, that's going to be my best value team in the game. Let me know in the comment section down below maybe what you guys would change about it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.